Sabri Suby joins me now in the studio.
I really look at business as an incredible vehicle to really make good and make change in the world.
So you need to look at the whole thing and it's like, oh, well, what's actually happening in this relationship if they're not trusting the advice that it is that I'm giving them? And usually what happens is, right, and this happens it happens for everybody, is people look at conceding on things that don't seem important, right? A great example is the client not wanting to put the red in the ad, right? And they wanted to do blue. That seems like a simple thing. Like we can still do everything that we want to do, yet we just had to change the color from red to blue. Most people would look at the size of what the billing is that client brings into the business and go, I'll just do anything that you want, right? But that's not how you build those relationships where people actually listen to you. And what happens is people end up usually conceding at a few little things, and like someone will be like, oh, can you just change the funnel to just do this? And then that person's like, oh, like the AM or the specialist will be like, I don't see how that's going to be a big issue. I'll just agree to that. And then next week it's another thing, and then it's another thing, and it's another thing. And then all of a sudden you end up in this place where it's like the client is pretty much just telling you exactly what they want you to do, and then you're just running away and doing it. There's been times when they haven't liked me, not them just as in general, but they certainly like the results. And it's just like, as long as the client knows that everything that you're prescribing to them is coming from a place that you care about them and that you're there because you want them to win, and it's not because it's easy and it's simple and it's convenient or your ego wants to be right, but it's coming from a place like, look, I'm only pushing you back on this because I know that this is what's in line with your best interests. So yeah, like I'm not like throwing shade at you or anything like that. I'm just looking at the bigger picture of like what could happen where he would be questioning what it is that you're saying, right? And it happens all the time for everybody. And like I even saw it like when I was an AM, either I made a mistake or if something happened, either I overspent on an account, it would like all this other stuff would come about as a result of that. They'd start to question everything just because I overspent a little bit on their ad account. All of a sudden the whole funnel's in question now. Do you know what I mean? So there's always something, it's cause and effect, and there's usually something that causes that to happen. And it's easy just to look at the surface area and like just trying to solve those symptoms, but also just looking at, look, maybe it's time for me to book in a call with this client and the specialist and actually like really get into the guts of this situation so I can address it. So all of these little issues stop kind of popping up all the time. And every month I'm talking about these 15% of people that aren't booking in on their calendar, and that's just becoming this massive problem that I just constantly have to address. And just taking those problems by the horns. And that goes for everything. Whenever there's a hairy problem, there's something that went wrong, there's a mistake that someone on our team made, the form wasn't firing, the conversions weren't set up, you really need to go in there and use antibacterial wipes and clean all of that up and make sure that it's not a problem and there's nothing festering in there, because I can tell you from experience, it usually comes back to bite you on the ass.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. We're dropping a video like this almost every single day on YouTube. And if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments box below with hashtag HeySabri, and I'll do my best to get in there and get that answered.